if they're going to draft these young black men and send them over to Korea or South Vietnam to face 800 million Chinese.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. My dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome once again to the show, your show, The Winning Goal. And in this show we're talking about what it means and what are the elements of winning and becoming successful, because we spoke about the nature of the Muslim as being competitive, wanting to win, wanting to achieve in this life and the next. We spoke about the Muslim having important to concentrate on his core, his intention for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and trying to achieve the best. We talk about having a vision, having a dream, an aim in life and working hard towards achieving that aim. And then we spoke about some of the aspects with that aim is that you have to be persistent, you have to keep on going, don't give up, keep going, keep chasing your dream, keep trying to win, because if you give up right at the beginning, then that means you're a loser there and then. The nature of the winner, the nature of the one who wants to succeed is the one who carries on going no matter what happens. He falls down, he gets up and keeps on going. Even though there is winds, there's hurdles, there's difficulties in your way, you keep going. And last week we spoke about another aspect of winning, which is having the moral code, the ethics, and we talk about in Islam the akhlaq that a person has. And remember we said that the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ, I have been sent but to complete the honorable akhlaq, honorable mannerisms, honorable etiquettes, behaviors. And we said that essentially there are three types or three circles of akhlaq. The first circle we said that you deal with is your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we spoke about that last time, and how a person should fear Allah, depend on Allah, should love Allah, should know who Allah is, so that he can find the strength which from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah is the source of strength. قُلِ اللَّهُمَّ مَالِكَ الْمُلْكِ تُؤْتِي الْمُلْكَ مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتَنْزِعُ الْمُلْكَ مِمَّنْ تَشَاءُ وَتُعِزُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتُذِلُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ. Say, Oh Allah, you are the owner of sovereignty. You give the kingship, the sovereignty to whom you will. You take it away from whom you will. You honor whom you will, and you disgrace whom you will. And also we spoke about the importance of knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because in knowing Allah you can know who you are, because through knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala you know your essence, you know why you're here, you know your purpose in life, and so on. So that's the first circle. The second circle of the akhlaq, which we want to talk about today inshallah, is you and your relationship with yourself. How you perceive yourself and how your khuluq with yourself is, and how you try to change yourself. Because essentially part of winning is how you give the impression. First impressions count, as they say. And not only that, but people, when you enter a door and people see you for the first time, they will, based on the impression that you have given them in the first 1 minute, the first minute, and sometimes even less, that will actually shape the way that they think of you. Because if you come in into a room and in a certain way, the way that you enter, your style, your body language, the appearance of yourself, all of these things will affect how you will be perceived by others in this aspect of winning. And that's why we're talking about here in today's show, we're talking about the khuluq, the character of you as a Muslim with yourself. And essentially we want to talk about four aspects. The first aspect, which is important, is the aspect of time. Aspect of time. The Muslim knows without doubt the importance of time. The importance of time, because time, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swore by time, wal asr, he said, by asr, by time, is such important reality. And when the Muslim knows the value of time, he knows that this clock that's ticking away every second is a valuable second, a valuable minute in his life, so he tries not to waste that time. Every moment of your life should be valuable, should be used. And so therefore, part of this reality is that you as a Muslim with your khuluq is that you respect time and you respect other people's time in this regards as well. So one aspect of winning, if you want to win, if you want to achieve that winning goal, you have to show the respect to time. You have to keep with your appointments. You have to be on time when you make an appointment. You should be always looking to come on time. You have to stick to your time as much as possible, and so on. And what I have, especially with things like meetings and interviews and appointments and all that sort of thing, what I call it the airplane test. The airplane test. Because now, if you know that you have to get an airplane, if you know that you have to get an airplane, your airplane flies at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 a.m., and you have to be at the airport at 3 a.m., what are you going to do? You're going to make sure that you're going to be there at 3 a.m. You're not going to just sort of waddle in at the last moment. You're not bothered about whether it's what time, because end of the day, if you are late, the airplane's not going to wait for you. The people like that, they're not going to wait for you. They're going to say to you, the airplane's gone, sorry, or checking in has closed. You've missed the plane. It's as simple as that, and that's why I call it the airplane test. If you are late for a meeting, your meeting, your schedule, you should treat it like a flight. That if you miss, you've missed the flight. You've missed your holiday. You've missed your whatever you're going for, and not only that, but you've lost out on all the money that you've paid for that flight. So this is the airport challenge, the airplane challenge. So if you miss an appointment, as I say to some of my brothers, when they miss the appointment, I said to them, look, you've missed the plane. The plane has gone. Treat your appointments as precise as that, as important as that. Every appointment in your life has to be like that. Your attendance to the salah at the masjid, your appointments with your friends, your appointments for going to the doctor, to the dentist, your appointment for an interview, anything that you have, even if it is an appointment which you don't really think it's that important, but you have to treat it as important. Give it the airplane test. So that's the first thing we'll talk about with your akhlaq, with your character as an individual, with yourself. Secondly, we're talking about your personal hygiene. Your personal hygiene. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ, part of his teachings was to teach us everything about personal hygiene. Very small issues, small points about hygiene, he taught us. He taught us how to look after our oral hygiene, to brush our teeth, when to brush the teeth, how to brush the teeth, everything about brushing the teeth. And he said, you know, لولا أن أشق على أمتي لأمرتهم بالسواك عند كل وضوء. Had I not made it difficult for my ummah, for my nation, I would have ordered them to do siwak at every wudu time. In another narration, قبل كل صلاة, before every salah, and so on. So he was teaching us about oral hygiene. He was teaching us about personal hygiene, how to look after the different hairs in the body. You know, some hairs need to be removed by plucking, some needs to be removed by shaving, some hairs need to be cut, some hairs need to be trimmed. All these things about personal hygiene, your nails, your washing. SubhanAllah, look at how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it obligatory on you to do wudu. You have to do wudu at least once a day. At least once a day. When you wake up in the morning, you have to do wudu. You know, so you cannot get away from washing your face and your arms and behind your ears. And also there's an encouragement from the Prophet ﷺ to do ghusl. At least once a week you should be doing ghusl, having a wash and a shower. You know, this is how Islam was teaching us the personal hygiene, because the essence of winning is that you have to feel that goal, you have to feel refreshed. Whereas here in Britain, for example, and in the United Kingdom, people didn't have that sort of reality. They would be lucky to have a bath once a year. That's how things were. Whereas in the Muslim reality, it was washing once a week, and so on. So that's the second thing, is the personal hygiene. So we spoke about time, your respect of time. Secondly, your respect of hygiene. and your personal hygiene and looking after, make sure that you people do not sense from you in terms of your personal hygiene any sort of faults or any slacking, because you are and you should be the best. There's no excuses in this regard. Alhamdulillah, you have accessibility to different aspects of washing, so you got to make use of that. The third aspect of when we're talking about your khuluq with yourself, we're talking about your khuluq in terms of your presentation and your appearance. So it's not just about how nice you smell or what kind of hair you have, etc., on your and your nails and all that. That's important, but also the way you present yourself, the way that you dress is important as well, because people look at your dress, they look at the way that you look. And I can tell you now, if two people came to you, okay, and you're meeting people, or you saw two people in the street, you saw somebody dressed up in a suit with a tie, very nice suit, clean, presentable, shining shoes, and you saw someone who is in the street wearing jeans and a t-shirt and his cap, baseball cap, and who are you more likely to take serious? Which kind of person do you think is more likely to be serious? Which kind of person do you think is more likely to be professional? And you don't know. It could be the guy who's wearing the baseball cap, for all we know. We don't know who is the professional. We don't know who is the better qualified, let's say. But just the appearance in itself gives you that indication, that inclination of appearance that you mean business, you want to win, because people look at your appearance. And here is a very important point that we talk about appearance. Not talking about appearance meaning that you are showing off, because showing off is haram. And that's why Abdullah ibn Abbas, he said, كل ما شئت والبس ما شئت ما لم تخطئك خصلتان الإسراف والكبر, or الكبر والإسراف. He said, eat whatever you want and wear whatever you want, as long as you keep away from two types of bad behavior, sins. What are they? Kibr wa israf, arrogance and extravagance. Don't look down on people because what you wear, and don't wear things which are extravagant you don't need. Don't spend £200 on trainers when you can buy a similar pair of trainers and just as good for £50, for example. So don't be extravagant, don't waste, but at the same time present yourself good. And that's why when it was seen by one of the righteous people, he was Ja'far al-Sadiq, the righteous Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, the Imam and from the household of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was seen wearing some nice clothes, very nice, expensive clothes. So his students, one of his students, he said, I'm surprised, Imam, that you're wearing such expensive clothes, because he was thinking that wearing expensive clothes doesn't go line in line with a person who is a scholar, a person who wants the akhirah, the next life. So how does that work? How does that fit in? So he said to him, he said to him, he opened the buttons for him. He said, look, feel inside here. So he felt inside. He felt his vest, and he found that his vest was a harsh one. It was like a woolen one, a harsh one, which wasn't made of like expensive quality. So he said, you see that vest? That is for me. The vest is for me, i.e. to keep me in line, to remind me of the harshness of this life, to remind me that I shouldn't be extravagant. As for my outer clothes, then this is saying to you that I don't need you. I'm not a beggar. I don't need your money. Because how many people dress, because of their dress, people view them in a certain way. So my good dress or my good presentation says that alhamdulillah, I'm self-sufficient. I'm not self-sufficient, but I don't need you. Alhamdulillah, I depend on Allah, I have enough money. But this inside the clothes which nobody sees, that's for me. That disciplines me, that disciplines my attitude to others. And so this is why it's important to dress properly. Your appearance has to be good. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Man kana lahu sha'ran falyukrimh." Whoever has hair, then let him honor his hair. You know, look after your hair, present it well, comb your hair, comb your beard, make yourself presentable. Don't just look out. And also in one narration, when the Prophet ﷺ was with his companions and they went out on a battle, on jihad, and they were in a battle, and you know, after a battle, you know the nature of battle, it's tiring, it's difficult. You've just been fighting with people. People have been, you know, their clothes are torn, their blood, everything is the battle. But as the Prophet ﷺ and his companions were coming back to Medina, he said to the people, he said, you know, prepare yourselves. أصلحوا ثيابكم ورحالكم فإنكم قادمون على إخوانكم. You know, prepare, tidy up your clothes, tidy up the mounts of your horses and camels, because you're going to meet your brothers tomorrow. So when you meet your brothers, let them see you nicely, even though these people have just come back from war, you know, but present yourself well. So that's the message that you have to have with your khuluq with yourself, has to be the message of, I want to be tidy, I want to be well presented in myself as well. And that includes your hair, includes your appearance, includes everything. And the fourth aspect which we're talking about with regards to the khuluq is that how you actually speak, your tongue. You have to train your tongue, because your tongue is a wild horse. You have to tame it. And that's why some of the ulama said Allah has put in the tongue two sets of barriers, the teeth and then the lips. Two doors to shut the tongue in. The teeth, the lips, to shut the tongue in, because the tongue is loose. And as long as you don't speak the word, as long as you don't speak a word, then you own that word. But the moment that you speak a word, that's it, it owns you. You don't own the word anymore. That's it. It's easier to catch, you know, it's easier to keep hold of a horse, or what, easier than to keep hold of your words. So that's the other thing that's important, inshallah ta'ala. In a moment we're going to go for a break, and then after the break, inshallah, we'll come back and we will take your comments and any questions that you may have, inshallah, on this topic or any other topics. So stay with us, inshallah, and we'll see.
محمد رسول الله عليه صلاة الله وآله والأحبة لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلاة الله وآله والأحبة. And your mercy like the sun, and be gracious as the earth. Let your kindness come like rain that cares not whom it falls upon. And let ocean deep your wisdom be, your heart a lantern spreading peace. Give yourself in love of him, be like Al-Habib. And in your deepest need and in your deepest grief, call on him in humility. Place your trust in the one to whom creation turns. You'll find redemption and find peace.
وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم حينما طلب منه الصحابة نصيحة قال أوصيكم بتقوى الله.
وآله والأحبة. Be a blazing fire of truth, be a soothing balm of peace. With the light of your sincerity, break the clouds tyranny. Let your faith be like a blessed tree. Give your shade to all who seek. May your roots run true and deep. Take your strength from Al-Habib. Ya Nabi, salam alayk. Ya Rasul, salam alayk. Ya Habib, salam alayk. Salawatullah alayk. And know that certainty will bring tranquility, contentment with Allah's decree. Give thanks for all.
The Ashbab department is a part of the MAB Muslim Association of Britain, and this section actually is a new section which concerned with the youth, the age between 12 to 16, and we are trying to accommodate the needs of this age group by organizing activities which brings up the best out of them.
To the company of the folk of certainty, through their gaze and through your love for them, may you be as one of them, as gentle as the whispering breeze, spread solace to the world weary. Let your heart and soul be mirror clear, give life and love to Al-Habib. Ya Nabi.
وهو الذي يحيي ويميت وله اختلاف الليل والنهار أفلا تعقلون.
For all that comes, be patient and know that someday you will return to Him. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadun Rasulullah, alayhi salatullah, wa alihi wal ahibba. Fast to the company of the folk of certainty, through their gaze and through your love for them, may you be as one of them, as gentle as the whispering breeze, spread solace to the world weary. Let your heart and soul be mirror clear, give life and love to Al-Habib. Ya Nabi, salam alayk. Ya Rasul, salam alayk. Ya Habib, salam alayk. Salawatullah alayk. And stand before Allah like nothing else exists, and worship Him like you are seen.
If you want to make an effect, then come out and vote.
Both Islam and Britain tell us to come out, register and vote. If you don't, then who would?
If you want your voice to be heard, then come out and vote.
Our sisters are requested to register and vote.
Allah, Muhammadun Rasulullah, alayhi salam.
As part of encouraging British Muslims to play a bigger role in British society, the concept of creating hope was introduced by MAB in its national conference, which was held in Birmingham 2011.
We're talking about a subject which we haven't been able to talk about for decades. Creating hope. From the very title, we understand that we're bringing positive out of negatives.
The conference was attended by over 2,500 people from all regions of the United Kingdom, with over 20 speakers speaking on a range of topics to include Muslim schools, universities, the role of politics, the history of Islam in Britain, the effect of Quran and morals in promoting hope, new Muslims creating hope, the effect of media, and much more. In the past 15 years, the Muslim Association of Britain has grown through its membership to deliver different services to the British society, Muslim and non-Muslim. We hope with your continued support to carry on growing from strength to strength to promote a better society for our future generations.
Many communities, many organizations, including the Muslim Association of Britain, what a wonderful organization this is, working day in and day out to build Muslim character, Muslim families, Muslim neighborhood, Muslim society, to engage Muslims in the wider society. organizations like MAB, organizations like UK Islamic Mission, and many others who came together with this desire that yes, as a community, as an ummah, we can do a great deal more socially, politically, for ourselves and for our ummah at large.
We've been speaking today about what it means to win by having the personal reality, the personal understanding of your akhlaq, your conduct. And now, inshallah, the lines are open if anybody would like to phone in to ask any questions on this topic or any topic in general. But we're speaking about what it means for you to have that khuluq, to have that moral behavior. And we said that it really requires you, first of all, to respect time. Secondly, we spoke about personal hygiene. Thirdly, we said about appearance. And fourthly, we said about speech. The way that you talk, what you say, how you say it, all of that influences how people perceive you and how people think of you. And that's about your akhlaq. Because you are, until you talk, you are a closed book. People don't know you. They don't know who you are, whether you are clever, whether you are not so clever, whether you are intelligent, not so intelligent. What are you? They don't know until you, because you could be wearing the best of suits, you could be wearing the best of hijabs, you could be wearing, you know, something elegant, you look very elegant, you look very smart, you look very clever, but if you don't talk, people don't know you. They'll say, oh, this guy, is this guy or this woman, is she the clever or what? So that's why it's important. So what happened, I'll tell you this story. Imam Abu Hanifa was the great Imam of Iraq. You know, he was there in Iraq. He was from Persian origin, and he was in Iraq, which at that time was the center of knowledge, really. And he was there, he had his circles, he was teaching people Islam in his circles. And on one occasion, you know, Imam Abu Hanifa, because he was the sheikh, he was the leader of the circle, he would extend his legs. He would, you know, extend his legs in the circle to, you know, because he's the circle, he's the senior. So on one occasion, this guy comes in who is very well presented, very well, you know, clothes, has a nice turban, everything, and he sits in the lesson of Abu Hanifa. Now Abu Hanifa doesn't know who this guy is. He looks very well presented, very elegant, and so is he a scholar or is he, you know, what is he? So Abu Hanifa, he does not extend his legs out. He does not extend his legs out. So he said, so because he doesn't know what this guy is, this guy could be a really big scholar. And so what happens is, you know, a day after day, this guy comes, he doesn't say anything, he just sits, listens to the circle, learning and listening to Abu Hanifa. And Abu Hanifa is a little bit puzzled, who is this guy? So he's sitting, Abu Hanifa does not extend his legs, because even though it's his circle, he doesn't, because he feels he doesn't want to disrespect the people of knowledge. So and then on one occasion, the Abu Hanifa was talking about fasting, and he said, you know, that when the sun sets, then that's it. The fasting person has broken his fast. That's the end of the fast, when the sun sets. So this guy then asks a question. He says, what this guy who's well presented, wearing nice clothes, he said, what if the sun doesn't set till the middle of the night? What happens then? So what happens? Abu Hanifa is saying, when the sun sets, that's it, the fast is over. So this guy says, what if the sun doesn't set till the middle of the night? So then Abu Hanifa says, on hearing this question, which is so apparently obvious, that a person who is asking this question has not even thought about it. How could the sun set in the middle of the night? Because the moment the sun sets, that's the beginning of the night. So he said, even if it doesn't set at the beginning of the night, Abu Hanifa said, now I can extend my legs. I can stretch my legs out. Because up to then, he didn't stretch his legs out because he didn't know this guy was a scholar. But now this guy has spoken, it shows that he doesn't know and he doesn't have any knowledge. So what I'm saying, the point being, is that this guy, when he was sitting in a circle, even though he was presented well, wearing nice clothes, nobody knew him until he spoke. And I think that's an important point to know. Nobody will know who you are, Nobody know what you are about until you speak, and the speech will give indications about who you are, what kind of person you are, what kind of, the way that you speak, the tone of your voice. If you are someone who's always shouting and someone who's very loudmouth, that gives a kind of impression to people. Whereas if you're calm, well collected, you're patient, you don't speak, you only speak in a certain way, and so on. All these things will actually give you an indication about who you are and what kind of person you are. So I think that's an important point that we have to understand about your, when you speak, that will actually indicate what kind of person you are, and so therefore you have to make sure that you guard that as part of your akhlaq, as part of your personal reality. Don't speak things which are gonna really embarrass you later on, and hold back. And if in doubt, don't say anything, just don't speak. If in doubt, shall I say this or shall I not say it, just don't say it. Why take the risk if you want to say it or not? Okay, we have a caller, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
My question is, when it's Christmas time and teachers say you have to go to church, and parents say you have to sign a letter, the teachers say you have to sign a letter, when you have to sign a letter and other Muslims go, what do you think about that?
Alright, okay, Jazakallah khair, that's a good question. So the question is, if this aspect of going to church and celebrating Christmas or knowing as Muslims, we know that Christmas, there's two aspects of Christmas. One of it, Christmas is actually, it's treated as the birthday of Jesus alayhi salam, but it's not really the birthday of Jesus, because Jesus wasn't born in winter. He was born more in the sort of time, like, either in the spring time or sort of autumn time, because that was a time when, even in the Christian stories, that one of the shepherds, he actually bought a lamb as a present. So the lambs are not present in the winter. But anyway, what we do know is that Christmas time, or the 25th of December, is related to the birth of a sun god and so on. So anyway, that's one aspect. But the aspect is, should a person go to church? It all depends on whether or not you know what's going to be taught in church. It's not haram. It's not haram for a Muslim to go to a church. To see what the church is, what kind of church, what is the church, what is it about, but it becomes haram if you go you go either to worship there, or you go because you feel, wow, this is, how great is this, and you look at it all, then that all becomes haram. But I think as a Muslim parent, you have the right to say to your child not go to church. You can tell the school not to go to church. You can write a letter, and each parent will, whoever is more conscious, will deal elsewhere. Some parents will prevent their children from going, some parents will not, and the right way, wallahu a'lam, is to not allow them to go to church, because unfortunately there's lots of things which are put into there which might not be acceptable. Okay, we have another caller which is hung up now. Okay, all right. So what we're saying is that with regards to Christmas and going to church, that it's best to avoid going to church unless you are going to learn about what it means. What is the church? Sometimes it's good to learn, because the more you have information about other people, it teaches you how to interact with people. But at the same time, the Muslim has a duty, the Muslim parent has a duty to make sure that his child, his son, his daughter knows the correct teachings of Islam and understands what it means, that Allah is one, that Allah does not have any sons, Allah does not have any parents. All these things come with the teaching. Okay, so that's with regards to that question. So really what we're saying before is the thing about speaking and presenting yourself, and how you present yourself, because all of that will affect your akhlaq as an individual. And remember, we're talking about winning, we're talking about... Okay, we have Abdullahi from London. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Yes, Abdullahi, what's your question?
Hi. My small brother, my small sister,
Yes?
You know, when they go to school, that like the teachers tell them to do carols or to like do a play about Christmas.
Yeah?
So what's the problem? Is it like bad or something?
I would, yeah, Jazakallah khair. Well, it's better not to do it as a Muslim, because unfortunately some of these carols, they contain things which go against Islam. Sometimes these carols, they will say things, you know, there are songs which say things which I don't agree with Islam, like Jesus is God's son, which we don't accept that as Muslims, and so on. So the parent has to be aware of this and should say to the school, I don't want my child to participate in these carols or these plays, because there might be some aspect which has nothing, you know, nothing religious about it, but other aspects which go against Islam. So, okay, we have Ibrahim from London. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes, welcome Ibrahim to the show. What is your question?
I'm asking, is it haram to give Christmas cards in school?
Oh, mashallah, jazakallah khair. It's a good question. Okay, inshallah we'll answer that question for you. So today seems like the questions on Christmas, and Ibrahim is asking, is it haram to give Christmas cards in school? Now, we said already that Christmas is one of those times which unfortunately is not part of, you know, it has some meanings which are not acceptable in Islam, because it's related to some pagan things. It's related to the celebration of birthdays, which again, as Muslims, we don't really have the celebration of birthdays. So there's lots of things related to Christmas which we don't accept. With regards to Jesus, we are happy with Jesus. Jesus is our prophet. We love him, and so on. So what we're saying is that should a person who does not accept Christmas give Christmas? An answer, I think, is that you should avoid giving Christmas cards. What you should do, you should give Eid cards. You know, to those friends that give you Christmas cards, you make sure you give them an Eid card, because tell them about your Eid, tell them about your happiness after Ramadan, after the Hijjah. So when they say to you, oh, what is this Eid card? You say to them, yeah, this Eid card is because Ramadan, and so on. So try and avoid the Christmas cards and do the Eid cards instead, inshallah. Yes, we have another caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Okay, is it Hamdi from London?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Hamdi, what is your question?
I have two questions. My first question,
you have two questions, okay?
Yeah. My first question is, can Qadr really change can Dua change Qadr? Can
Dua change Qadr? Okay.
Yes. And we know that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the most cunning. He really hears people when they're praying or making dua for him.
I didn't hear the second question. Can you repeat it again, but slowly?
The second question is, we know that Prophet Muhammad started inside the mosque. And can he really hear people when they're praying in the mosque?
Oh, can he see them from when he's praying, when he's leading?
Yeah, when people are praying or making dua, can Prophet Muhammad hear? Or
now, you mean? Or in the mosque in Medina?
In the mosque in Medina.
Okay, all right, Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much. So good, two questions. First question, Hamdi is asking, does dua change qadar? And the answer is that dua itself is part of qadar. Dua is part of qadar, because what is qadar? Qadar basically is what Allah's knowledge about what's happening in the world and how He has prescribed it and made limits to everything. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what's going to happen to you, and He will know that if you're going to make dua or not. Say part of your qadar is to become ill. So Allah knows that you will become ill, then you are ill, and you say, oh Allah, give me a shifa, give me a cure. Your dua here, Allah knows that you're going to make the dua. So your dua is already part of the qadar. And it will change the illness because Allah has already written, or Allah knows that you will be ill, you will make dua, and you will get better. And so it's part of the qadar. Ibra from London? Hiba from London. Okay, we have another question to answer, but we'll come to Hiba first. Hiba from London, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. What is your question?
When you have like Christmas concerts or stuff like that, are you allowed to give out like Christmas cards, but like not saying Merry Christmas?
Okay, so is it allowed to give Christmas cards which don't say Merry Christmas?
Or giving a gift?
Okay, I'm not gonna say it's haram. I don't think it's to say it's haram to give cards out or gift, but you have to be careful. That's all I'm saying, is that you have to be careful when you give out cards and things like that. Because nowadays I know some people say, instead of writing a card saying Merry Christmas, they just say season greetings. You know, it's like we're just greeting you at this season or whatever. But even today, I think even for us as Muslims in Eid, we don't really even give out Eid cards. We just send out text messages saying Eid Mubarak, have a nice Eid or whatever, or we send an email. So even a lot of the world today now has changed. So I think even for aspects of cards, it is a lot of waste of money. It's not good for the environment and so on. But if you gave out a card and just said, you know, have a nice holiday, that's not haram. We can't say it's haram. But is it good to do it? I would say, like I said before, give out a card in Eid as a Muslim. When you have Eid, give out to all your friends, all your classmates, your teachers, your head teacher, whatever, to say Eid Mubarak, Eid Mubarak. And so when they give you the Christmas card, they're giving it because they celebrate Christmas. You give them the Eid card because you are celebrating Eid. So I think you have to be proactive. And obviously you can't do it now because Eid is finished. So try and plan it into your next year, when Eid comes, that you do that as well. And that includes cards and gifts. Okay, Zainab from Sheffield. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, what is your question, Zainab?
Is it okay for young children to go to church? And is it a sin for the parents?
Can you ask the question again? Is it okay for the children to go to church?
Is it okay for young children to go to church?
Okay.
And is it a sin for the parents?
Alright, okay. So is it okay for young children to go to the church? And is it a sin for the parents? I think like I said to you before, going to the church itself is not haram. Just to go to a church is not haram. But when you go to the church and that church may maybe affect you, or you start seeing the statues or the wrong images, you know, of which might not be correct or not acceptable, then that may affect you. So going to the church maybe to learn about Christianity or whatever may be good. Young children might not know the difference. So I think it's very important that the parents guard their children in that regards. They go to the church so that they can understand, because going to the church, it should be for education, maybe to learn about other religions or to learn about other cultures. That's okay. But when it starts to become, no, you're going there to sing something which goes against your beliefs, or it's going there to do something which is not acceptable, and that's when it becomes a problem. And I think the parent has an important duty to know what's happening in the school, to know what the children are being taught, where they are taken, and the school can tell you, look, if you don't want the child to go to church, they don't go to church. So there is an element of, you know, is it haram, or if it's just something that's not good, and it really depends on how you look. Because a child can go to the church, he can see what's happening in the church, and he might just come back and find nothing wrong, whereas other people will be affected. So I think a parent has to be more active in that regard and do what's best for his child. Okay, Abdullah from London. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, what is your question, Abdullah?
My teacher. Wa alaikum salam.
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
In my school, my teacher always tells me to sing songs, Christmas songs, and is it haram or is it haram?
To sing Christmas songs?
Yeah.
Okay. Jazakallah khair. Inshallah we'll answer your question. I just want to answer a question that I think Hamdi asked before we go, which is that he was saying if the Prophet ﷺ in his mosque and people say salam to him, is that can the Prophet hear you or not? And the Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith that whoever comes to visit me and he gives me salam, then Allah will return to me my spirit and I will reply the salam to him. So the Prophet ﷺ will hear the salam when you give salam, and not only the Prophet ﷺ, but also all the people who are dead. In a narration, there is some narrations which say that when you go to the dead person and you speak to him, they can hear you, because in the hadith the Prophet ﷺ said, وَإِنَّ الْمَيِّتَ لَيَسْمَعُ دُفَّنَ عَلَيْهِ أصحابه إذا انصرفوا عنه, or something like to that effect, that the dead person will hear the people's footsteps as they leave him. After they have buried him and they've left him, they will hear him. And also the Prophet ﷺ taught us that when we visit the graves to give salam, and he taught Aisha, when you go to the graves, give salam to the dead people, say Assalamu alaikum diyara qawmi mu'mineen antum as-sabiqun wa inna insha'Allahu bikum lahiqun, to give salam to the dead people and so on. So there is an aspect of the dead people hearing, but obviously with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also the Prophet ﷺ said they can hear you, but they cannot reply when he spoke about the mushrikeen and he was speaking to them. So that regards, but obviously for the Prophet ﷺ he has an extra value, because he can only will hear you, but he will also reply to you and give you a salam. And if you say a salam from here, you're not in the grave, you say Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah or Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, then Allah will allow the angels to transport that salam there, inshaAllah ta'ala. Abdullah, I think, was asking a question about Christmas. Yeah, sorry, can we just okay, I will come back to Abdullah. Yeah, Ali from Arizona, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome from Arizona.
Sheikh, to build a beautiful program. My question is concerned about the holidays which is coming. I got a shop, so my shop, they give me the gift card, which is $50 every year. So that's that they pay for the Christmas. So can I use that, man, or just it's haram? Thank you very much.
Okay, so Ali is asking about that. Okay, let's go just back to Abdullah. Abdullah was asking about the aspect of singing Christmas songs. We said that the Christmas songs have two types, or Christmas rhymes have two types. One of them they contain things which are shirk, like saying that Allah has a son, or Allah has a partner, Allah has a mother. All these things is haram, you cannot sing them. But then there are songs which have no meaning, yani they are maybe nothing, they have no meaning, just, I don't know, like something which is just words, they have nothing to do. Then those things are not haram to sing, because it depends on the words, it depends what they are. So I think you have to differentiate between the two types. But the best thing is just to say, look, I don't want to sing Christmas songs, Christmas carols, I'm a Muslim, I don't want to sing. And get your parent to write a letter, and that's it. Don't get yourself in difficult. Brother Ali from Arizona was asking, he gets a gift card at Christmas, like a voucher, which is like a gift. This actually is a voucher, which is like a bonus that the employer gives to his employee as a celebration. So it is really part of the gift that everybody gets, whether you are a Muslim or a Christian or you celebrate Christmas, you don't celebrate. Everybody gets a voucher. It's just part of saying thank you. And they choose this kind of time to give it in because it's a time when people need money. They go and spend the money, buy gifts, and etc. So we cannot say it's haram to take this gift card. You can take it, you can use the money, you can spend it. They're just giving it to you not because of Christmas, exactly because of Christmas, but because they want to give you a bonus and they want to choose this time to give it to you. Wallahu a'lam. Okay, do you have any other questions? Okay, Sulay.
Yeah.
From London. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Okay, what is your question?
My question is the Christmas play. Is the Christmas? Alaikum salam. My question is the Christmas play Are we allowed to, in the Christmas party, we're allowed to do it? Is it haram or not?
Okay, the Christmas, you're asking about the Christmas play, the nativity
Are
play.
we allowed to do it? Is it halal or non-halal?
All right, Jazakallah khair. So yeah, with the Christmas story, which is about Jesus and Joseph, and they're going to Bethlehem and giving all this a story, which to tell you the truth, we don't know whether it's right or not, and I think the Muslim should just keep to the things that is acceptable for him. You are a Muslim, you have your own culture, you have your own practice, so you don't need to go doing things which are specific for Christians. And I would say you should avoid doing it as a Muslim, because you have your own plays that you can do, you have your own sketches, you have your own culture, and nobody can force you to do this in this country or any other country, because that's your right. Your right as a Muslim. I don't want to do this. But some people, I think, in the school, they do it just out of fun. And they don't really, it's not done as a religious thing. But I think it's important to have that understanding. Wallahu a'lam. Yes. Abbas from London. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. What is your question or comment? Yes, have we lost Abbas? Assalamu alaikum, Abbas.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, yeah, we can hear you now. What's your question?
Yes, my question, I wanted to know the meaning of ayah. What was in Surah Al-Ahzab?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question. Can you repeat the question? Okay. Okay, we have one more caller and then time is run out. I don't know if we've lost Abbas, but inshallah we'll get the question in a moment. One more caller because time has run out, and then inshallah the show is finished for today. Have we got anybody online? Okay. Alright, okay, that's great. So we're getting the question from Abbas, and then inshallah we'll answer the question. Just to say, my dear respected viewers, that because next week is going to be during the vacation time, so there's not going to be a show on next Wednesday, but inshallah the following week, which will be on the beginning of January, inshallah that's when we'll be returning with this show, The Winning Goal. And inshallah we're going to talk about the last part of akhlaq, because we said the akhlaq with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we spoke about the khuluq within yourself, we said that about respecting time, personal hygiene, yourself, appearance, and about your speech. And next time inshallah we'll talk about your akhlaq with other people inshallah ta'ala. Do we have that question? And don't forget that while you are in this holiday, in this period of time, a break, make use of your time. Make use of time to come closer to Allah. Make use of time to do good things. Be good to your parents, be good to your brothers and sisters, your relatives, and so on. Make use of this time to really make sure that every day is used to the best of your abilities. Yes, Hafsa.
Can we ask about anything other than Christmas?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, thank you.
What do you want to ask?
I wanted to ask if it compulsory to play Sunnah.
Is it compulsory to play Sunnah? Okay, mashallah, yeah. That's a good question, well done. And inshallah we're going to end with that question because time has run out. Hafsa, I believe, was asking, is it compulsory to play Sunnah? Now, by definition, we have a circle called the Fard, the obligatory prayers. This circle is compulsory. You have to pray the obligatory prayers. The Fajr, 2 rak'ah, Dhuhr, 4 rak'ah, Asr, 4, Maghrib, 3, and Isha is 4. That's the middle one. Outside that, there is another type which is called Sunnah Mu'akkada, emphasized Sunnah. Like 2 rak'ah before Fajr, there's 2 rak'ah before Dhuhr, 2 after Dhuhr, 2 after Maghrib, 2 after Isha, the 3 rak'ah of witr. These are called emphasized sunnah. So they are like a circle which is outside the fard. Now they guard your fard. So what it means is they help you to keep your fard secure. You don't have to pray them. It's not compulsory to pray them. But why do we pray them? Because it helps us to guard the fard. When you start avoiding the sunnah, you don't pray the sunnah, your fard is more likely to drop and weaken. So we have the fard protected by the sunnah, try to preserve the sunnah. The other thing is, your fard, when you have deficiency in your fard, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, He will say, look at my slave's salah, if it is deficient, does he have any sunnah prayer which we can then add to the fard to make it up? So if you have sunnah prayer, your sunnah prayer will be used to make up the fard. So really, the Muslim, the wise Muslim who wants to win, who wants to be ahead, who wants to be successful, should not leave his sunnah. But is it compulsory? It's not compulsory. So respected viewers, we're going to end there inshallah because our time has run out. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you for being with us once again. We're not going to be here next week, but inshallah the week after that we'll be back with your show, The Winning Goal. So join us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
This is a new generation. If they're going to draft these young black men and send them over to Korea or South Vietnam to face 800 million Chinese.